Shane Beamer, take advantage of the honeymoon period. You're going to need it. Welcome everyone to the Voice of College Football. Please like the video, share the videos out on social media, and subscribe right here to the Voice of College Football. If you're joining us for the first time, or you've seen very little of what we produce here, please kick back for the best discussion, debate, and analysis. That's our aim, that's our goal, that's our mission. We are running through the Power 5 conferences with our predictions for the 2021 season. Check out the videos, let us know what you think. South Carolina's next, our first look at an SEC team. And the Gamecocks, of course, moving on from Will Muschamp after his 9-4 season in 2017, and each season after that, worse and worse and worse and worse. Concluding with 2-8 last season, Shane Beamer expects to do better than that. He'll be helped by some non-conference games that are winnable, definitely winnable for the Gamecocks. But inside the SEC, it's going to be brutal. Look at this closing stretch. All right, let's take it from the top. Eastern Illinois, East Carolina. South Carolina's got to get out of the gate, of course, at 2-0. The date on the road against East Carolina could be a bit tricky, but the Gamecocks should be a heavy favorite and should survive that game. Then comes a difficult back-to-back stretch against Georgia on the road. Of course, South Carolina pulled off one of the more recent historic upsets of sorts in Athens 2 years ago. The Bulldogs will win payback. Of course, the Bulldogs routed South Carolina in the payback game in Columbia last year. Kentucky, difficult assignment at home for South Carolina. Then they've got Troy out of the Sun Belt Conference. So South Carolina should get off to a 3-2 start. Maybe they beat Kentucky at home. Not likely, but they've got a decent chance. 35% chance of winning that game. Tennessee and Vanderbilt, the Commodores in bad shape. Clark Lee, of course, taking over that program. So another first-year head coach in the SEC coming in from Notre Dame. The game at Tennessee, again, another first-year head coach in the SEC Eastern Division with Josh Heupel. So between those schools, who knows? Who gets off to the better start in implementing their offense, their defense, their culture, getting the team on page with the coaching staff? That could be decisive. Down the stretch, South Carolina's in a heap of trouble. So get the wins early in September and October, because down the stretch, this might be the most difficult 5-game stretch to conclude the season in college football. I would like to see a more difficult stretch drive at Texas A&M, back home for Florida, then on the road for Missouri, Auburn, Clemson. Now, the two Tigers teams may not be as difficult, but still life in the SEC is life in the SEC. Probably two of the top 25 or 30 clubs in the nation, and that's the soft spot of that closing run. They may see two of the top 5 teams in the country at Texas A&M, and of course South Carolina's also always got to close with Clemson, and they've lost that game every year since Clemson's been on this run to the college football playoffs since 2015. So South Carolina, I'm looking at 3 wins outside the SEC. They get one done in conference. You can probably guess which one that would be. At home against Vandy. Would not be surprised if they pick off Tennessee. That would be the next most likely win for South Carolina in conference, would be Tennessee on the road. Also, possibly if they really play over their heads, maybe Kentucky, maybe Mizzou. Auburn's at home as well, and South Carolina won that game against the Auburn Tigers in surprising fashion last year. But I'm going to stick with the one win in the SEC, 4-8 overall with the loss to Clemson, of course, at the end of the campaign. Shane Beamer, new coach, new quarterback as well. We'll keep an eye on the Gamecocks, of course, this season, and you keep an eye on our prediction videos right here at the Voice of College Football, Mark Rogers TV.